All right, take two. Take two here in the sports barn. Sound was bad on the first. I think if I've made over 200 of these videos. And you think I can get the sound right? I don't know. Anyway, it's Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I thought I need to get a sports barn episode up for you people because we got all kind of games going on here in the next 2 days. So let's get to it. I want to say thank you to, we'll call him subscriber Pete. He's a big fan of the channel. He's always been a supporter of the plan from way back in the day. He sent me an email here that I have not responded to. I've been busy. I have been. It's no lie. So I want to respond, Pete. I will respond. I just wanted to say publicly here, thanks for the email and thanks for the support. Yeah, he's a big fan of the channel. Let's put it that way. He thinks I'm going to end up on TV. Yeah, you know. So I appreciate the kind thoughts. Anyway, all right. So let's get to it here. I want to go out and get to the bar. We have to do it this afternoon because they close the bars here in Pennsylvania due to the order of the governor. Son of a bitch. I mean, that guy, my God. Because, the virus, if we go to the bar between 5 p.m. and his previous edict of 11 p.m., then the virus is super active and we're all going to die. But if we go out before 5 p.m., it's okay. Science. Don't get me started. All right, Thursday. There's two bad teams here, the Texans and the Lions. I have no idea. I mean, I guess the thinking is that they're both bad. I don't think either team can continue to play well. That would be the Texans. The Texans have put together a couple good games in a row now. So a bad team will now, throw a clunker. They're looking ahead maybe to a game with the Colts. That is their next opponent. The Lions played awful against the Panthers, getting shut out. So, I would think that team wants to get back on the field at this point, whereas the Texans may be just smelling themselves a little bit after defeating the Patriots. So we'll take the 3 points at home. We'll take the Lions. Not excited about it. Washington versus the Cowboys. The Washington is, they're playing pretty well. They just beat the Bengals, knocked the quarterback out, which helped them seal the win. The Cowboys had a big win over the Vikings, so both teams are probably playing as well as they have all year in this game. Strangely enough, this is an actual game. This game actually matters. This game does not matter. Both teams have long since been eliminated. But Washington versus Dallas, with the Eagles and the Giants in that division, it's anybody's division still. Both of these teams could very easily win the division, have a home playoff game, could win the home playoff game, and still be playing meaningful football well into January. So, meaningful game here. I think you have to look at this just from a standpoint of they're both bad teams, but I would say one is a bad franchise and the other is not. I do not think Dallas is a bad franchise. I know Jerry Jones, he's kind of a laughingstock a little bit because he puts himself out there as, the guy, the pinnacle of pinnacles, like it was still 1994 or something. But it's not a bad team. I mean, it's not a badly run team. It's just that they haven't been able to get over the hump here in the last 20 years. Washington's a bad team. It's poorly run. It's a bad owner. bad organization stemming from the owner. So, in a coin flip situation, we'll go with the better organization. We'll take the Cowboys. We'll lay the 2.5. And then the game of the week, or certainly the game of the night, that's the Ravens and Steelers. Undefeated Steelers, 10-0, least talked about undefeated team in history. Baltimore, they were going to the Super Bowl 6 weeks ago. Now they're almost out of the playoffs. I think we're finally getting a number that's about right with the Ravens. They've been way overrated here, way overrated, even as late as last week when they got beat by the Titans. But I think now's a good spot for the Ravens to bounce, to have them have a comeback. They're not that bad, and then they're not that much worse than the Steelers, if at all. I mean, the teams are pretty equal. It's hard to say, oh, well, the Steelers are undefeated. How could they be equal? We'll see. We'll see Thursday night, but I think the Ravens are going to give these guys all they want and more. I'll take that 5 points all day long with Baltimore. I think Baltimore is going to figure out a way to keep this game close, cover the spread. They may win the game outright. The Ravens are to play here, no question about it. Baltimore. Now, these college games, Iowa State, Texas, huge game here in the Big 12. Iowa State is that close. I don't know if they win this game, they win the Big 12 title or not. And I don't even know what that means anymore because of these damn, what do you want to call them, title games. In other words, if I win the regular season title game, or title, I mean, in other words, at the end of the season, I'm at the top of the standings for the conference. No ties, I'm all alone by myself. And then I lose the title game to somebody else. Am I the Big 12 champion? Or did the other team that won the Big 12 title game, are they the champion? I've always wondered that, in college basketball, the coaches want to be the regular season champion. To them, that's what counts. That's what's important to them. That's the banner they get. If they drop the tournament and end up missing the big dance because some weaker team caught lightning in a bottle, that happens. But what in college basketball, what earns these guys the money, what gets them to come back year after year, what gets them the contract extensions is being the regular season champion. At any rate, I don't know if Iowa has never been the any kind of champion. I think going back to 1912 I saw. Now normally I would fade this kind of team in this situation, but what better time for a never won type team to win than this goddamn year. So I think we'll just go ahead and take Iowa State in the 2 stars to win a pick'em game down in Austin with Texas. Iowa, they've been rolling. We'll lay the 2 touchdowns, slightly less, 13.5 against Nebraska. See if they can get there. That seems like a big number. I don't know. But again, it's this year. Do the opposite. We'll lay the 13.5. That's a top play with Iowa. There you have that. We're going to lay 25. We're going to lay 25 with Central Florida at South Florida. I mean, this is likely to be a 60-some game to 30-some game. Points get up that high all of a sudden. Now 25 is not that daunting. UCF runs lots of tempo. They'll run lots of plays. They could cover 25. If they're playing well, they'll cover it easily. So we'll lay the 25. That's a top play. We like Notre Dame over North Carolina. Notre Dame only a 5-point favorite at North Carolina. I think Notre Dame is better than North Carolina. I think the coach, Brian Kelly, is better than Mac Brown at this stage of Mac Brown's career. 5 points, not that much. This is likely to be a shootout. So again, you're upwards, you're in a mid-70s basketball score where it's 66-60. 5 points, not that much. I'll lay the 5 with Notre Dame. Stanford, they've beaten Cal 9 out of the last 10 years. Yeah, I know they lost last year. That was the one. Other than that, they had a 9-game winning streak coming into that game last year. So we'll just go ahead and say Stanford's going to beat Cal again. We're even getting a 1.5 here. So we'll put 2 stars on this one for Stanford. 1.5, we'll take it. Stanford. This game had a bunch of steam on it. I have no idea why. We'll just take the steam. Wyoming was bet from 13-point favorite to a 16-point favorite at UNLV. We'll put 2 stars on that with Wyoming. They're a 16-point favorite. We'll lay it. 2 stars there. So, top play, Baltimore Ravens, Iowa Hawkeyes, Central Florida Golden Knights. Those are your top plays. We kind of like Iowa State too. Wyoming, we like them. Stanford, and then you just fill in with the rest. So happy Thanksgiving. We appreciate all the support here in the channel. Hope to get you some winners here this holiday season. Like I said, we're wanting to get out and do some day drinking here. My God, college basketball's tipped off right now. There's some college basketball games being played. It's a huge slate. I didn't have any real thoughts about the season. I glanced at the huge slate of games today, and you know, the day's just gotten away from me, and I couldn't handicap any of them. But I wouldn't mind watching a little college b-ball while we have a couple beers. Well, the clock's ticking. Got to get going. 5 o'clock coming up. Thanks for being here. Let's get some winners. We'll talk to you again.